Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to dive into the truly revolutionary new science of memory. And it challenges a story about our minds that we've been telling for over 100 years.
So let's start with a puzzle that I'm sure you've experienced. One minute, your memory feels like a superpower, and the next, it's just frustratingly unreliable. It feels totally random, right? But what if it's not? What if there's a deeper logic to what we remember and what we forget? For a really long time, the go-to metaphor for memory has been this: a giant mental filing cabinet. You know the idea. We have an experience, we neatly file it away, and then when we need it, we just pull out the right folder. It's a simple, tidy concept of storing and retrieving information. And you know, this filing cabinet idea isn't just some casual metaphor. It's actually rooted in a very, very influential scientific theory that has shaped our understanding of memory for a long, long time.
That theory is called the Standard Systems Consolidation Theory, or SSCT for short. The core idea is that new memories are, well, they're fragile. They're held temporarily in a part of the brain called the hippocampus. And then over time, especially while we sleep, these memories go through a consolidation process where they get moved and filed away for good in the neocortex. Think of it as our brain's main hard drive.
But here's the thing. That old story is really starting to show its age. There's a compelling new theory that's emerging, and it suggests we might have been thinking about the whole purpose of memory all wrong.
So meet the contextual binding theory. This theory proposes something totally different. The hippocampus? It's not a temporary storage unit. Nope, its main job, its permanent job, is to act like a master weaver. It links an item, that's the what happened, with its context, the where, when, and how it happened. The memory isn't moved, it's bound together.
And this image right here illustrates that new idea perfectly. You see the hippocampus, there in red, acting as a central hub. It's taking information about what you experienced from one part of the brain and the information about the where and when from another part, and it literally weaves them together into one single, cohesive memory of an event. Okay, so if our memories aren't just these fragile files that might get lost, what does this new theory have to say about why we forget? This is where the two ideas really go head-to-head. Let's look at them side by side. The old story says forgetting is basically a system failure. The memory just wasn't filed away properly. But the new story? It argues something much more dynamic. It says we forget because of interference. Other similar memories get in the way and create a kind of mental confusion. And, you know, when we actually test these two theories against real-world things we all experience with our memories, a pretty clear winner emerges. Things like old memories making it harder to learn new things, or how walking into your childhood home can trigger a flood of memories. Well, the new contextual binding theory explains all of that beautifully. The old theory, it really struggles to keep up. So, according to this new theory, forgetting isn't a bug, it's just a consequence of how our memory is organized. Think about it if you have a ton of experiences in a very similar context, like, say, dozens and dozens of meetings in the exact same conference room. Those memories start to blend together and compete, which makes it way harder to pull up the specific details of any single one.
This reframes forgetting in such a powerful way. As neuroscientist Dr. Charan Ranganath says, our brain is being selective for a reason. It's not trying to save every single little thing that ever happened. It's trying to pack what's most relevant and useful for the journey ahead.
And that is the absolute crucial point. Memory isn't just this passive record of what's already happened. Its most important job is to be a tool to help us navigate what's coming next.
This incredible ability is sometimes called mental time travel. Our brain doesn't just replay the past like a videotape. It reconstructs it, and it uses those same mental building blocks to simulate and imagine possible futures, which helps us make way better decisions right here in the present.
As Dr. Ranganath puts it, we should really see our memory as a helpful co-pilot. It gives us guidance based on past experiences, for sure, but we're the ones steering the ship. We get to choose which memories to pull up and how to use them to guide our next move.
Okay, so this is all fascinating science, but how can we actually apply it? Well, this new way of thinking gives us a really powerful toolkit to improve not just our memory, but also our focus, our resilience, and our overall well-being. First things first, we have to face the myth of multitasking. Every single time we switch tasks, our brain pays a price, a cognitive penalty. This constant switching just fragments our attention and creates a bunch of weak, disconnected memories instead of one strong, cohesive one.
So, what's the fix? We can practice better memory hygiene. And that just means creating an environment where our minds can actually focus.
Simple things like turning off notifications and committing to one task at a time, these aren't just productivity hacks. They're essential for building strong, useful memories. This new science also completely flips our perspective on making mistakes. When you struggle to remember something and you get it wrong, that's not a failure. That struggle is actually a powerful signal to your brain to reorganize and strengthen that connection for next time. Being wrong is literally essential for learning.
And finally, we can actively use our memory to improve our mood. The simple act of intentionally recalling small, positive moments, a kind word someone said, a beautiful sunset, it creates a kind of snowball effect. One positive memory makes it easier to remember another one, building this powerful sense of resilience against stress.
Which leaves us with one last, really fascinating thought. If every memory is a reconstruction, something that's shaped by context and built for the future, then maybe there isn't a clear line between remembering and imagining. Maybe every time we look back, we're not just replaying the past, we are, in a way, creating it all over again.